almost finished?
Yes, sir. Upgrade nearly complete. Okay, give it a try.
How cool!
Burning the midnight oil, son?
Hi, Dad.
Looks like some deep thinking going on here. The commander will be impressed.
So, you heard?
I did.
But, will he be convinced? You know, when Commander Conrad challenged me, he said I should talk to you about it. I know you don't believe, Dad. Do you agree with Dr. Conrad? Do you think there's no evidence for God?
I want to know what you think.
And as you can see, the liquid can be controlled by the computer using magnets to direct it towards a pre-programmed destination. Thank you.
Thank you, Cadet Carson Chandler. Next up will be Cadets Chris Quantum and Joy Pepper.
Ready?
Hi, I'm Chris Quantum.
And I'm Joy Pepper.
Our presentation is a little different tonight. We got the idea from one of my heroes, astronaut Dr. Duke Conrad. He challenged us and made us think. We admire him, as we do many other scientists, because they try to understand the world around us.
We also believe in God. We're Christians. Some people think those don't go together, that there's a battle between science and God. Even that science can show God doesn't exist. But we hope to show tonight why that is false.
Think of all the material that exists. Balloons and butterflies. Whales in water. You, your cells, your DNA. Planet Earth, the moon, sun and stars. From the biggest galactic superstructures to the smallest atomic particles. Absolutely every material thing. This is all the stuff that science studies.
But have you ever wondered where it all came from? Why it acts the way it does? The laws of nature or physics? Why does any of it exist at all instead of just nothing? Some say the universe just exists and that's it. It has no explanation. But imagine if you and a friend were walking in the woods and you saw a small glowing ball on the ground. You'd probably ask, why is that ball here? Now, would it make sense if your friend said,
It doesn't have an explanation for why it's here. It just exists.
Of course not. If the ball were as big as a car, it would still need an explanation. And as big as the Earth, it still would. And as big as the entire universe, it would need an explanation. And just like that ball, so does the universe.
But if the universe just is all of this material, one thing dependent on the thing before it, then the explanation for it cannot be more material. And it doesn't make sense that it came from nothing. So the explanation must be outside of all of this, outside time, and itself not made of material, nor dependent on it. It must also have a lot of power and intelligence to be able to make all of it. This is what we call the Creator, the ultimate being, God. Like it says in the book of Hebrews, the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that the things which are seen were not made of things which are visible.
So you can see, We don't find God as we would find a flower or a planet, because God is not an object in the universe. If he were, then we could always ask, what caused God? Instead, God is the cause, the reason why anything exists. Like it says in Colossians 1:17, he existed before anything else, and he holds all creation together.
Once you understand who God is and the nature of the universe, you can see there is no problem thinking that God exists and in being a scientist. Because scientists study all that we see in time, the things created and maintained by God.
In fact, those who are largely responsible for formulating the scientific method believed in God. Francis Bacon, Isaac Newton, and John Locke. They each believed in a law-giving God, and so they thought that nature would work according to laws or patterns that we can observe. They studied the natural world to admire God's work. We're not saying you have to believe in God to do science. Just that belief in God is what gave rise to science.
And the majority of the greatest scientists who ever lived have been believers in God. In fact, Christians. Hildegard of Bingen, founder of scientific natural history in Germany. Galileo Galilei, astronomer, physicist, mathematician, and engineer. Johannes Kepler, James Clerk Maxwell, Max Planck, George Washington Carver, and hundreds more. Including my grandpa. And hopefully me one day.
So, far from seeing a battle between science and God, these scientists found they were gaining a better understanding of God by studying his creation.
As Paul wrote in Romans 1, God's eternal power and character cannot be seen, but from the beginning of creation, God has shown what these are like by all he has made.
You've got a bright young man here, Quantum. I'm not convinced, but I'm glad he's thinking. And I think he's going to make a great scientist someday.
Commander Conrad, I want you to meet my mom and dad.
Oh, excuse me.
Grandpa would have been proud tonight.
Thanks, Mom.
Ah, well. What do we have here?
Greetings to one and all.
Ha ha ha! Job well done, young man.
Oh, joy. What a marvelous presentation, young lady.
You certainly did a splendid job indeed. Ha ha!
Yes, I know. Thank you, Gizmo and Cubit.
Whatever do you mean? Who is this Gizmo and Cubit? I must say, they sound like absolutely brilliant individuals, but we are certainly not them.
Oh, dear. I've never been so offended. Yes, I agree. Indeed, they do sound like amazing individuals.
Hi, son. Are you about ready?
Hi, Dad. Almost.
Are you disappointed Commander Conrad wasn't convinced?
I am. But I feel like I did what I was supposed to do. You didn't say much afterwards.
You know, I would discuss these things with your grandpa, and I always had an answer. It usually went something like, science has been so successful at explaining things that people once attributed to God, give it a chance, and it will be able to explain everything. But you confirmed something I've been thinking. When it comes down to it, the best science can do is provide a model for how the world works. Now, don't get me wrong. That would be an incredible achievement. But we would still want to know why that model. And like you said, why is there a universe at all? But I've also been observing you. The changes I've seen in you since you became a Christian. The way you want to help more people, not just here, but in the community. The respect you show for your mom and me. Doing your chores without grumbling. Giving of your time and money. It's night and day. It's amazing. It's
Jesus. I didn't even know there were reasons to believe. I experienced God, and that was so awesome, so real, so undeniable. Jesus is here, now. He's available to everyone. The wise, the weak, the rich, the poor, the scientist. He's available to you, Dad.
I believe you're right, son. I believe you're right.
Why is there something rather than nothing? The heavens proclaim the glory of God. The skies display his craftsmanship.